everybody, welcome to yet another vanilla run in Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac. For once, we are going to queue up an Isaac run. I'm not going to random, because I've had some pretty bad runs lately. I haven't had remarkably terrible runs. Just give me a second, my headphone is out here and it's making me self-conscious of the sound of my own voice. Let's pop that bad boy in there. Alright, much better. Yeah, we've had some runs that were fairly... you know, I shouldn't necessarily say terrible, because they weren't terrible. We had a very recent Samson run where we ended up losing just before getting to Isaac, which is honestly not that bad, especially considering we were rolling entirely on Spirit Hearts from like the 3rd floor onwards, which is pretty nuts. Especially considering we had no means with which to regenerate more Spirit Hearts. Now, obviously, this is a no-brainer bomb use here. Let's see what we get in here. X-ray goggles. You know what? I will not re-roll these. We'll save our re-roll for the boss room. And this is a much better first floor than we have had access to or the privilege of getting in a while. But then the run before that Samson run, we had an Eve run where things just never really got off the ground. And, you know, part of that is my own fault. In not playing well, not dodging fantastically, not exploiting every possible opportunity that I had the potential to, and part of that was the game just giving me some bad items. We've actually had a pretty strong history of bad items. I'm hoping this is the shop. It is indeed. We will not have the money necessary to get to it, but it's just nice to not have to use a key to get the peace of mind to know that there's nothing in there. Actually, if there is a key in there, I might consider buying one. Maybe not now. And there is a left hand here, which I'm actually... You know what? I will pick up the left hand just on the off chance that we get a deal with the devil item. And I don't have to use a key to get into the shop, apparently. So, you know what? I will buy a second key. Slight risk? A very, very slight risk. Not really that big of a deal. Anyway, let's try to turn this all around with a good Isaac run. Isaac obviously has a huge potential... ceiling for how good his run can be, or how good a run with him can be. Step 1 is probably not taking as dumb damage as I just took right there, or, you know, even worse damage against those spiders. You know what, and if I get the opportunity to, I actually would love to use a bomb. I totally fucked up, so let's just not use another one, because that might be a total waste. Maybe that'll cost us a Tinted Rock or something later. Anyway, we're gonna live, we're gonna have enough health, even if we lose a lot of health, which we kind of have. And we don't have a risk of getting a deal with the devil this time anyway, so the potential to get a deal with the devil, so it doesn't really matter that we took some damage here. Now, let's hope for, you know, standard attribute upgrade, or a stat upgrade, an HP upgrade, a tears upgrade, a damage upgrade, even a speed or a range upgrade. Actually, Pageant Boy... I'm just trying to think. This will give us a lot of money, but I'd rather re-roll and have... Yeah, you know, even Squeezy is better, I think, than Pageant Boy. Because we have the X-ray goggles, here is my reasoning. I'll take you inside the mind of a Northernlion. Because I already had the X-ray goggles, I figured money would be less of a concern than it often is. That's the same reason I'm not going to be very concerned about buying the map here. I will pick up Ouija board. It's not my favorite item, especially because it makes shooting poop so difficult. But that was a really good example of how to save some keys. So, we have used 0 keys so far on this floor because I was able to get to the item room and the shop simply by virtue of the fact that I have X-ray goggles. Now, it's getting a little framey here again. I have no idea what's causing these frame rate dips. I thought it looked pretty smooth for the start here, but whatever. We'll sort it out eventually. It'll probably sort itself out eventually, in all honesty. I doubt I will have much to do with it. Okay, red patch. Better than the left hand? You know, debatable, I suppose. I like both of them. Well, actually, I don't like the left hand so much, but I'm kind of trying to stick with it. I'm trying to reevaluate my position on red chests. That was bad damage on my part. Because largely I've been pretty negative on them, because they oftentimes spawn spiders like they did right there. We'll pick up that Eternal Heart right now, because there's a very little chance that we'll end up losing it. Now, if we get a deal with the devil, it's kind of like, it's a moot point to a certain extent, but if we get a deal with the devil, I think our Eternal Heart will end up being taken as one of the first deals with the devil, but that doesn't really matter, or it was one of the first health lost to the deal with the devil, but I guess that doesn't really matter, because we were going to lose HP anyway, so it kind of makes sense. Now, elephant in the room so far. Let's take this pill. That has teleported us to the boss room. I was just going to say elephant in the room is where do we use this D6? There's a reasonable chance that we could get a half-decent item on that library with a reroll or not. So that is one of my #1 concerns. Obviously, I'm not really that concerned about rerolling the cube of meat because it's not going to provide us with any benefit. You do have the possibility to reroll the pony, but the odds of the pony dropping here, the white pony similarly as well, The odds of the pony dropping here are not 0, I think, but very, very small. Sometimes the pony drops weirdly from fights. Or maybe it's the other way around. Sometimes cube of meat drops weirdly from fights. So we're probably not going to go to the curse room on this floor, largely because I'm trying to protect that eternal heart, and I worry about the interactions that we might have there. We will certainly pick up our cube of meat. Our deal with the devil is going to be a major defining factor in this run. And let's re-roll these. Wow. Really? That was unexpectedly bad. I was thinking about taking the mark, but the mark, I believe, does not give us the double spirit hearts for picking it up. So instead I was like, you know what, we might as well save it for the pact if we're going to go with it, and then just ended up not really working out. So I will use one key to open up the library here. Worst case scenario, we get nothing. Second worst case scenario, Book of Revelations or something like that, we take it. This is Book of Belial. I'm probably going to roll with the Book of Belial, to be quite honest with you. It's an awesome item. It's an item I could see myself using into the end game. It's not the greatest item in the game, and, you know, there's always the chance that the D6 would give us the greatest item in the game. That being said, I'm reasonably okay with this decision, and Book of Belial is an item I could see myself using into the end game. That being said, if we end up being able to pick up a blue candle or something, or I don't know, a nail maybe, then I wouldn't necessarily feel too bad about it. But I'm happy with the position that we're in right here. And I believe there is always a chance that these red chests pay out with some kind of deal with the devil item. It might be infinitesimal, but the chance exists, so I'm excited about that. Every single time, you never know what's going to happen. I think those, like, the outcome where we get 3 flies is substantially more likely. It seems like it's not going to be possible for me to save any keys on this floor by just going to the secret room. Remember, even though we can't see the map, we can tell exactly how to get to the secret room simply by virtue of the fact that the X-ray goggles will proc whenever we're close. So I'm not going to open the shop just yet. I want to go to the secret room first, and if there is a good item, or sorry, not a good item, but a good amount of money in the secret room, then that will become much more likely, I think, for me in the future. But for now, I'm very pleased, you know, with the way things are going relative to the way that they have gone on some earlier runs. I'm just going to check out, like, all these rooms just to see, you know? Alright, so this is an interesting situation. I don't really want Guppy's head, so I'm kind of thinking we should just leave. What happens if I just walk back in now? I pick it up, and then we go through the same kind of song and dance. Okay, so now I've taken Guppy's head out of the rotation, which I guess is what I was mostly concerned about. I could have also created a few flies around me, but it's not the end of the world that didn't necessarily pan out for us. Yeah, in terms of where we are, I'm happy with our damage. Our, you know, kind of tier effects, Ouija board's fine. It's going to help us out in some situations and kind of slow us down in others. Lots of bombs. Book of Belial is a fantastic item. I'm a huge fan of it. I will definitely use a bomb to get a nickel here and thus make the shop worthwhile. Big fan of X-ray goggles. That'll hopefully allow us to get some... good, I thought I was going to blow that up by accident. Big fan of X-ray goggles. That'll hopefully allow us to pick up, you know... Best case scenario, fetus in a jar. Epic fetus. Worst case scenario, lots of money. So it really doesn't have a downside. Worst case scenario, we die fighting greed, I guess. Then that's pretty bad, but... yet another kind of terrible shop. We've seen all 3 of the shops so far, and, you know, this is the second time Notched Axe has shown up, so I almost wish that we had just, paid the 7 cents to pick it up on the first floor, but, beggars can't be choosers. Actually, beggars can totally be choosers in this situation, because I'm paying hard-earned American dollars, to pick up whatever we have in the shops. But anyway, it's not the end of the world for now. Hopefully we will earn a deal with the devil or angel on this floor, and I'll be able to snag a, nice offensive upgrade like a brimstone. Fantastic. It's been at least a few videos since we had this opportunity. Now, am I a huge fan of the... We've already been on this, so am I a huge fan of the parasite? No, absolutely not. I would love the parasite if the way that it worked was that... Ooh, I like that too. We'll talk about that in a second. I'd be a huge fan of the parasite if it split brimstone shots, but obviously it does not. But now between Book of Belial and brimstone, this is looking like a pretty standard Northernlion run, and obviously by way of the glitch, I should be able to make some fairly interesting things happen here from a damage standpoint. Let's see what item we get. It is a tears, damage, and HP upgrade, if I remember correctly, and why don't we hang out with our judgment here, just to see if something cool happens. And with the amount of health that I have, I'm okay with losing a spirit heart to go to the curse room, just in case. I have no idea, thanks for the HP upgrade, I have no idea how the left hand augments curse rooms. It has augmented me into a fuck corridor here. with a troll bomb. But anyway, that is that floor basically sorted for us. I'm picking up Brimstone for 2 red hearts, fair market value, and also really nice for us. Now, the fact that we have, obviously, a second Curse of Darkness, not the fondest memory that I'm going to have of this run if things continue on their present track. But again, if I couldn't complain on the last floor, I sure as hell can't complain now, because we have one of the best offensive items in the game, and we picked up an HP upgrade as well. Even if we didn't get, you know, everything that we wanted on that floor. Lots of positives for us. So if we find an arcade, that is basically a guaranteed HP upgrade there. And continuing to basically tear down these rooms as soon as I have the opportunity to do so. Now, Ouija board is something that I wish I had... Oh, I can't believe... Well, I can't believe I got hit twice, but I can't believe I even got hit in the first place there. We will go to our item room first, just because it's here, and the money bag, or the sack of pennies, it's not the most important upgrade for us, but it's fine. We will be able to get 3 bombs for the price of 2 here. Obviously, a flying item or a ladder would be fantastic for us, and it feels really nice to have this much damage, and, to be quite honest with you, this much health. Because I'm dodging pretty terribly relative to how I dodged on the last couple of runs that I recorded over the course of today, but, you know, I had to dodge really well on those runs to even have a chance of surviving. Okay, let's see what we got in here. 2 full bombs, and we are just going to back the F away then, and this is going to give us enough money to definitely make the shop worthwhile. Hopefully that was the... I was going to say hopefully that's the shop right there, but unfortunately I finished my sentence before we... Or I didn't finish my sentence before I had the opportunity to realize that that was not to be. So, Catacombs Part 2. Really hoping we fight Pestilence, get that second level cube of meat up, and cause some good things to happen. Can't always rely on that. It's just nice to have something that fires while you're charging Brimstone. But you know what Paul McCartney said, you can't always get what you want. We are going to take this, and, you know, why not shoot the poop just in case? They won't be fast enough to catch up to me anyway. Famous last words, perhaps, but, okay. Obviously, we know that this is not a secret room, but... it may give us the pills necessary to make some good stuff happen. That health down actually hurts a great deal, especially now that I have lost the spirit hearts that I had. How about this one? Luck down. Might actually be a good thing because it causes more chests to drop. Anyway, I would say that was a pretty bad series of rooms there, but, you know, with 3 hearts, considering I also have Brimstone and Book of Belial, I'd say we're still in a very good and easily defensible position. Let's hope that we... You know, I still want the second cube of meat, but I would also welcome snagging an HP upgrade from our boss, even if we don't fight Pestilence. Which, you know, it could go either way, I guess. This has to be our boss room, and of course it's kind of unfair for me to say that after I see that our boss room is there, but I was just running through the math in my head, and I was like, okay, we've already seen every other room and, like, gone every other path, so we have to go on this one. Alright, easiest boss that we could probably fight at this point in the game. With a good potential payout as well. Of course, something like the Fallen might have given me a better overall ceiling for item, like best possible items. But I'm pleased with this regardless. We get a Tears upgrade and a Tarot card and a Deal with the Devil potential. Hermit, that takes us directly to the shop. We will absolutely use that. Yes, this is a funky decision that funky position that I put myself in here. Was that the Parasite in there again? I can't remember now. But yeah, now we can fly, and now we're 1 hit away from death, so I might be in a bad position here, but I don't... let me put it this way, I would feel a lot better if I had the HP upgrade that I unfortunately lost. That being said, this is certainly looking like one of those runs where we're going to throw everything that I have at the wall, and we'll see what sticks, and we're definitely going to get full health before we... And, you know, full health is kind of a misnomer, because we only needed half a heart, but we're going to pop that open, and maybe that was the right decision. You know, it's the kind of run where maybe one less deal with the devil would have been prudent. That being said, I'm happy with where we are, even though it might not look like it. We just desperately need some kind of health upgrade in the very near future. Or life is going to get real difficult real fast. So, Spirit Hearts, fantastic. Extra regular HP, I'll deal with it. Something like the nail, plus a good shop item would be amazing, though. But the nail, we're going to have to pay health for it in all likelihood. So, perhaps something like the Book of Revelations is both more realistic and kind of similar in terms of usefulness. So, yeah, this is the good, you know, we're going to take less damage because we can defend ourselves quite easily with the... Spirit of the Night that we have, of course. Need some keys if I'm going to get to that item room, and of course this is making me nervous because, you know, we need to get to this item room if we're going to, in all likelihood, get any extra health. Something like lard would obviously be amazing right now. Those spiders could have easily thrown a monkey wrench into my whole plan. And, you know, just don't die here. Easier said than done, actually. These are some tough enemies. Especially this neutral fly that, to me, kind of seemed to come out of nowhere. But we're going to check out our library for sure. Oh my god, we don't have a key necessary to check out the library. This could give us Book of Revelations and basically save our lives. But okay, here we've got a easier situation now by way of this. Now we have 2 Spirit Hearts, and you know what? Honestly, now I can go fight the boss and feel reasonably confident about that, and hopefully we can start turning things around here. What room do I go to first? I guess the shop. Okay, well that's bad damage, obviously, but we're gonna abuse the shit out of the Brimstone glitch here. Just to do as much damage as possible, obviously. And it's not going to be easy, but it shouldn't be that difficult either. War is the kind of boss that, you know, once we get him down into this state, we can pretty much just hang out and take him out without him being able to do any damage to us, so I'm very pleased about that. We'll see what kind of items we snag here. Obviously, health would be the most important. Oh, we'll see what kind of items we snag here. Really? Obviously, it's going to be a cube of meat. Still got a lot of rooms left to explore. It's a pretty interesting choice that I have in front of me, but we're going to go to the shop first in the hope that there was a key in there, so that, you know, we paid a little extra money for this key because we had to spend a key to get it, but, you know, that gives you peace of mind. And now we're going to check out here in case there was a Book of Revelations. There is, unfortunately not, but again, you know, peace of mind, and we take a couple of items I don't necessarily want out of the rotation. It seems like I get a little chubby from Monster Manuel all the time, but, you know, we're not going to be able to make good use of that. So we're going to go on the lookout for one more key and hope that this item room is going to be the bastion from above that we absolutely need it to be if we're going to make confidence in our progress here. That being said, you know, so far so okay. The fact that we ended up getting that tinted rock is, it's a band-aid fix, but, you know, I'm not in a position to complain about band-aid fixes at this point, you know? It's a temporary solution, but it's better than no solution. It's like getting a nasty short-term loan or something. If it helps you pay the bills, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and we really are kind of running out of options when it comes to our survival right now, so I'm not going to complain about trading a bomb for a couple of Spirit Hearts. As long as those tinted rocks keep paying out for us, I am a happy camper. Guppy's Tail, we don't really have many keys, and I also have no idea how this interacts with the left hand, but sure, increased chance of golden chest drops if we end up getting a skeleton key or something like that. We could snag all the HP upgrades in the world. Trying to think positively, because we do have you know, a pretty offensively powerful run here. A lot of Isaac, and, you know, you'll forgive me for saying this, because it's true, but a lot of Isaac does come down to the luck of the draw to a certain extent. That is, for example, a very lucky Spirit Heart drop. Now, you know, to a certain extent, you make your own luck. Please be good. That is fine. To a certain extent, you make your own luck, I'll admit. But that being said, you require that luck in many positions to give you the kind of infrastructure necessary, the capabilities necessary to make good progress. So we really, at this point, need a specific series of items or drops to help us out, and that is Spirit Hearts, HP upgrades, and, you know, anything of that ilk, I suppose. Now, we are basically done with this room. We've already killed our boss. We've basically cleared out the entirety of the floor. We're just hoping for a key drop at the end here, and we did not get one. We did get 2 spiders, though, so I guess, you know, you don't lose them all. With our 2 keys, the most disappointing part of this is absolutely that we traded 2 keys for 1 key. Well, we traded 2 keys and 5 cents for 1 key, essentially, because I didn't end up taking Book of Shadows, and I definitely did not end up taking Monster Manuel, and our shop ended up being not that useful for us, so it sucks to be leaving the floor like this. I suppose I could spend half a heart to go to the curse room, but those hearts are exceptionally valuable for me right now. And again, another Curse of Darkness. Super annoying. But, you know, since we don't have the map anyway, it's not like this is going to really cost us anything but our time and a little bit of our sanity. Otherwise, though, I'm still relatively okay with where we are. Obviously, you know, things could always be better. One of the advantages that we will definitely abuse of having so little health is that we can 100% go to this boss trap room. Really should stop moving around so much. I have unlimited range, so I would love a damage booster, actually. Like, you can see, even with using the Brimstone, it can be kind of tricky to get to, you know, one hit, one kill. Now, Jesus Juice. I am going to pop the Book of Belial here. Jesus Juice is a nice pickup for us. I can't tell how much of this increased damage is a result of that and how much is a result of using the Book of Belial here. Probably mostly Book of Belial, but that being said, you know, ask and ye shall receive. We asked for more damage, and the game was happy enough to oblige us, which actually puts me in a much better position, but I could still 100% use... Oh, that was really close. 100% use some HP upgrades or some assurance that I'm going to get more Spirit Hearts. Getting more flies, sure, it's something. I really like having the second level cube of meat. We're up to 64 cents, only 5 off of the most magical of all possible numbers. And I guess I've gone this way already. This is why I hate Curse of Darkness. That is, it's bad damage, but by the same token, it's also like, you know, kind of inevitable. I figured it would happen. And the elephant in the room here that I've neglected to mention so far is that... Ooh, okay, 1 second. These could be good. I'll talk about the elephant in the room in a second. Balls of Steel, that's fantastic. We're on Necropolis. So what does this convey? What are the positives and negatives? It means 1 floor instead of 2 to finish the first section of the game here. Thank you for that Spirit Heart. Unfortunately, it also means an increased need for keys if we're going to have any chance to pick up some good stuff here. We need at least 3 keys on this floor. 1 for the shop and 2 for the 2 item rooms. So ideally that'll happen, but you know, can't really... There's 1 right there, which we'll use on the shop, even though we're probably going to fight greed. Hey, okay. This is a weird situation for me. We will take the pill, just because I want to see what it is, and, you know, Balls of Steel is fantastic. This is the last shop we're going to get, so I'm going to pick up Book of Revelations because I need the health more than I need the damage at this point. And we bought a key, which allows us to go to the item room and pick up Dad Sea Scrolls, which in this case will give us Deck of Cards, which gave us the Chariot. So effectively, we traded a key for the Chariot. Is that good? Not really, but it could be worse, I suppose. And we still have 1 more item room remaining. Have we been down here? Yes. So, you know, it's tempting to play that Fortune Teller, but I don't want to if I can avoid it. We know what this is. That's a luck down. Again, luck down might be a good thing. I just don't want to risk it right now. So, all in all, that was a reasonably good trade. Now, here's the thing. Getting Book of Revelations isn't exactly a coup because we had to give up Book of Belial to get it, and generally speaking, I think Book of Belial is a better item. What is this red chest going to give us? Ah, fantastic. I think Book of Belial is a better item. I really don't want to even fight greed in this situation, honestly. We'll just walk away instead, and there's our... Oh, there's another key, so hopefully we can just find our item room. We might have to use greed's room here as kind of like a pathway. So, you know, we did cost ourselves effectively probably a decent amount of damage to make this happen. Is it worth it? Yeah, I mean, that's why I did it. I'm hoping it's worth it. Whether or not it ends up paying out, I guess, will be the ultimate barometer of success. But, yeah, anyway. Let's stop, you know, fretting too much here and start trying to make some good stuff happen. So, we do have enough keys now. Just playing that 1 time. Permanent Polaroid invincibility will be an option now, even if we don't get a deal with the devil. But obviously, you know, if we can get a 1-heart deal with the devil from Mom's Knife, I would be a very happy man. This is where we came from. It's a big floor, though. I'm just trying to make sure I've explored it all. This is, you know, the fact that we're on Necropolis actually makes Curse of the Darkness really annoying here. So we will definitely play Judgment. This is a room I have not been to before. Could this possibly be... Whoa, Nuns Have It. That's really useful. Am I crazy, or is this actually just Necropolis 2? Because we already had a fight against War, and you only fight War on the 3rd series of floors. So I'm actually just an idiot, and we're going to leave here. This is not an XL floor. The extra key, though, is nice, and the fact that I did more exploration meant a free Nuns Have It, effectively. So I'm a very happy camper when it comes to that. So a lot of enemies have spawned, so we are going to pop the Chariot card here. And just hopefully allows me to do a fairly substantial amount of damage to the bodily structures here. And there's Book of Revelations charged up. We are about halfway through the Mom fight. Now, this is a situation where obviously Blue Candle would be an asset. I'm planning my shots very poorly here. With the Brimstone, I should be able to tear these guys up pretty quickly. And you know what? It's quite possible that if you had told me that I would get like 5 Spirit Hearts randomly just from Necropolis Part 2, I probably would have told Book of Revelations to just go suck it, and would have instead stuck with Book of Belial, which would you know, continue to give me the damage necessary to finish fights like this much more quickly. That being said, you know, we're in this position now. I will definitely take this HP upgrade, obviously in the hopes of getting a deal with the devil later. Yeah, that being said, we're doing fine, and Book of Revelations is not a bad thing. It will give us basically a guarantee of the 3rd level cube of meat. Also synergizes very nicely. Perhaps even synergizes better with Nun's Habit than the Book of Belial does. Even though, you know, it has the same effect on each, but yeah, let's take this, see what happens. Bad trip. Well, you know, it's bad, yes, but it's only half as bad because it still helps us with Nun's Habit getting Book of Revelations to charge up. Not ideal, but at least we know that it exists now. And, you know, obviously now something like the battery or the 9-volt would be fantastic, but let's not get too greedy here just yet. That is awful damage for me to take. And we really can't afford to be taking too many more of those, or we will be in dead place pretty soon. Oh, that's really bad. Try another. Yeah, okay. I think actually Meat Boy managed to finish the job there. Obviously, the other no-brainers. Compass is huge for me right now. We will probably. It depends how quickly we find the boss room. But if we find the boss room late, I will definitely use telepills. Again, terrible damage. I will definitely use telepills to try to get an I am error room, or, you know, teleport to some kind of secret room. Why only if I find the boss room late? Because I don't want to, you know, accidentally force myself to backtrack through like 80% of the floor that I haven't seen before. So we are going to fight death here, and we are going to presumably succeed, unless something goes terribly wrong. I don't know what's up with that glitched out scythe there. We are going to have the second phase of this fight that has just come out here. Now, it should be easy. Good thing about Brimstone, of course, is that you... Oh, my God. You may effectively a piercing shot, so it makes it much easier to kill the Zombros, which are the enemies that he spawns primarily. And we do get a deal with the devil, and this is a very important one. There's our 3rd level Meat Boy. We can snag permanent Polaroid invincibility here, so it's almost worth taking Lord of the Pit, even though it doesn't do anything for us, simply because it gives us... well, first off, it gives us an extra Spirit Heart, I guess, from Nun's Habit, but also it gives us permanent Polaroid invincibility, which might be the most important thing right now. So that is maybe the first time in memory that I've ever done that. Taken a redundant deal with the devil just to snag a permanent Polaroid invincibility. We'll see if it works out. Honestly, I think it's a smart decision, if one that appears entirely counterintuitive at the start. So we know where we're at right here, and we know that the room directly above us cannot be the boss room, so we might as well just start looking for terminals here. I was hoping that the secret room would just teleport us directly to the boss room, essentially. And what am I doing with these telepills? Just wishing and hoping and praying, basically. Eventually, my dream is that these will carry us accidentally into a boss room and effectively work like an accidental Emperor card. So it's much easier to kind of facilitate that if you have a compass or something. Cursed Skull, obviously not something we're going to be looking for. But without a compass or a map, it's kind of just, you know, might as well just use the map to try to find the boss room. And, you know, the reason we don't want to use telepills here on the 2nd Utero floor is in case we accidentally get the I am error room. That's not going to do anything for us, because we'll accidentally kind of bar ourselves from going to the cathedral. Instead, we'll have to go to Shoal, which at this point is basically a no-brainer, I think. Unless we had a very terrible floor here, Shoal should be an easy victory. So, you know, what's the point? Instead, let's just have some fun and try to win on the cathedral, which is something that is very much more of a crapshoot at this point. That was bad damage, and it was worse because I was about to get a natural Book of Revelations charge, but hopefully Judgment could turn this frown upside down. Odds are he's going to pay out with an HP upgrade, and that's fine. I won't take it, but if he gives me some consumables on the way, that would be cool. If he ends up paying out with something else, that's cool too, like the compass, for example, which is actually amazing for us now. So, we also have a library, which is interesting, but also, what could they possibly give me? I already gave up an item that I consider to be better than the Book of Revelations, and that is the Book of Belial, in order to pick up the Book of Revelations. So that's like the 2 best items from the library, at least in my opinion. Such awful damage. The 2 best items from the library, in my opinion at least, now off the table. So I don't really know what I would really want from them. It would just be a waste of a key at this point. That compass pickup is obviously enormous. I don't mean to gloss over it by not talking about it. It's more like, wow, that's incredible. So maybe it speaks for itself, shall we say. There is another Book of Revelations charge. And we'll fight Wrath, and that'll do it for this floor. Once we finish off Mom's Heart, which, you know, is in all likelihood going to be a pretty easy floor. Sucks that we're going to cap out at a level 3 Meat Boy instead of level 4, but, you know, we didn't fight Pestilence, so that was kind of in the cards for us. If we'd gotten Book of Revelations a little bit earlier, maybe, but if we got Book of Revelations earlier, we might not have been able to get as far as we've gotten. So, like I said, maybe 10 minutes ago, this is a very high-risk, high-reward run, and due to the luck of the draw, I think we may indeed have the opportunity to actually make this work for us. Now, obviously, if I'm going to make the best use of... That was terrible, but if I'm going to make the best use of permanent Polaroid invincibility... Totally forgot that I had poison bombs. I haven't used bombs in forever. If I'm going to make the best use of this permanent Polaroid invincibility, I need the virus that's unlikely to drop for us until we get to the chest, I guess, at this point, unless we get a random golden chest. So, oh! I hate you so much, Isaac. You are... Sorry, not Isaac. I hate you so much, Super Meat Boy, for accidentally kicking that poison bomb away from Mom and back to me. It's going to slow us down just a little bit here and cost me, like, all of my momentum. That's okay, though. This is going to be permanent bombs now, and I basically walked right into that one, but still managed not to get hit. Chubb is dead. Random flies will spawn. We'll just try to stay out of the damn way, and one more series of events will be enough to finish this off. So, last Isla Sue's guys have been killed, up to the cathedral with the compass, and a telepills. So it looks like it's pretty far away. Let's take telepills. That appears to have taken us substantially further, which was the reason I didn't want to do that in the first place. So it has, to a certain extent, backfired for us here, I would say. Now, the ultimate question, I think, for this run, and I'm interested to see what the results are in the comments, or the responses in the comments, but the ultimate question is whether or not it was worth... I guess there's two big questions. Was Book of Revelations better than Book of Belial? There's probably some way to run a pseudo-quantitative analysis on that, honestly, given the amount of Spirit Hearts that I've gained versus the loss in damage that I took, but I'm not going to task anybody with doing that. Okay, that was a wash of a chest, and I'm glad that I did it. We are just... so bad. We are just going to leave, because it looks like there is a faster way to get out of here that'll save me a few rooms. Yeah, so that's question number one, and question number two, obviously, is Lord of the Pit when I didn't need it, just to get permanent Polaroid invincibility. Is it worth it? Interested to see. I think it has value. I don't know. It's going to be... That might be impossible to do a quantitative analysis on, but if possible, that would be pretty cool. And, you know, it's also situational, I'm sure. In some situations, it'll be better. In some situations, it'll be worse. But it raises some interesting thought, you know? 582 episodes, and this is the first time I've ever found myself dealing with these questions. It's kind of interesting. I would say, at least. That Isaac can still continue to inspire this kind of thought. Now, we are going to be going up against our boss here. Now, if I was going to be... 100%, like, okay, Isaac, please come in here and do some attacking. If we're going to do 100% min-maxing, I would love to play that Fortune Teller. That would be a big thing for me. I probably also would not have had Isaac attack the boss. I would have instead kept everything under my own control, but I want to speed up the amount of damage that's being done. And, you know, if I get hit, that's half a charge on Book of Revelation, so we're basically outfitted with the Wafer here, and it allows me to get in close and drop bombs, which are going to do poison damage over time anyway. And, you know, by way of the Brim Snap, I should be able to do some really hefty damage. But it's not working as well as I thought. And, you know, he's actually not shooting as much as I thought, given the circumstances. I really thought that with Meat Boy chewing on him all the time, he would be... Oh my god, this is really bad. He would be shooting a lot more often. He's actually shooting at a fairly manageable pace. I'm just dodging really, really poorly. And in fact, I believe we have probably crossed the point where I would be dead if I did not have that random Nun's Habit draw from the most benevolent judgment in world history. But this is one of the big reasons why I want a Meat Boy to have aggro on the Isaac, because once the Angel Fetuses start coming in, I've got bigger fish to fry than actually hitting Isaac. I've got to focus on more temporary concerns like dodging and a little bit of crowd control. So we're going to survive. We're going to have 3 keys, at the very least, to use on the chests once we get down. And, you know, it's a big moment. We can see what the items are here and maybe get lucky. Blood Rights. With permanent Polaroid invincibility, Blood Rights is really amazing. And Poison Touch, oh my god. We don't... Okay. So here's the way this is going to work. We've got to get to Isaac, and we've got to get to Isaac with a reasonable amount of health. And then this is a boss, so I don't know why I want to be here. We get to Isaac, and we get to Isaac with a decent amount of health, and then we just spam the shit out of Blood Rites. Remember, I did a Blood Rites run recently, inspired by a tip learned from youtube.com/namastack with a Z. That was the worst damage for me to take there. And basically the way that it works is, you know, Blood Rites plus permanent Polaroid invincibility is really, really powerful. But I have to have some health to get there, and also, obviously, that's going to cost me my Book of Revelations for that boss fight, which sucks. But by the same token, might actually end up saving my life. So it's one of those situations where I feel reasonably confident that I could... Oh, the worst damage. I feel reasonably confident that I could beat the boss if I could just get to him. So this is going to be our last room here that we actually have to fight in. And it's going to be Gertie, and we are in a situation where I don't want to take any damage. So, you know, there's a possibility that it might be worth it for me to take damage. Ah, no, there wasn't. What am I talking about? There'll be a big... Oh, my God. Well, now, at this point, I guess... Shit, man. Is this going to work out for us? I don't know, because Blood Rites is going to cost us... Does it cost us 1 or half? It's something I definitely should have learned last time I did this run. Please give me a Spirit Heart just to make me feel more confident. That's a bomb. Okay, so now we're going to find out... if my best laid plans of mice and men here actually work out well for us. At the very least, you know, we're almost at the end of the game, which is a nice change of pace considering how we've done recently. And, you know, it's an interesting way for things to go. This is indeed Blood Rites. It's not the Razor Blade. I'm just going through the stupid decisions I could possibly make that would totally fuck me in this situation. So I'm psyched, I'm excited, and a little bit scared. Let's see how it works out. I guess maybe it's in my best interest to just go until I take the first bit of damage and then spam the shit out of it. Because this is basically free damage, whereas Blood Rites is going to cost me some health. So if I can get some extra leverage before we get started... Okay, now we spam the shit out of Blood Rites. Oh, that is not nearly enough. Okay. Yes. Well, that was a kind of a impotent way to end the run. But at least we tried it. We tried a novel strategy. Very high risk, very high reward, but sadly we didn't totally get that reward, but it was fun nonetheless. As always, thanks for watching. Get ready for some challenge runs coming in the near future, and I will see you next time.